Howdy, howdy, it's the morning howdy, morning howdy.
Hello guys, and welcome to another episode of the Morning Howdy. Like every morning, howdy. No coffee today. I already had some and I'm already a little shaky, so I was gonna, sip a little bit more, but I don't think that's gonna end up well. But today's subject is gonna be diets. And it's going along with the health because when I made the health and fitness video, I wanted to add on to it a little bit more. So here's me adding on to that section of my video over there. So this is going to be another episode, and it's diet. So the reason I'm picking this topic is because we all want to be healthy, right? Or we all want to be better in our sports, or we want to have better weight management, or we want to grow in size. And the key to that is diet. Diet is probably, if not one of the most important things that a person should be focused on. Because if you eat unhealthy food all the time, you're not going to feel so well. You're not going to do so well. You won't think straight, right? Or people who won't eat at all, they're not going to live long. So let's talk about the good diets, right? And then we're going to talk about bad diets. So the good thing about good diets is you have growth, okay? We all want to grow in some type of way. We want to gain size for sports. We want to be the best athlete we can be, so we need to put on a little weight, right? We need to be the best competitive person we could be. You need to put on growth because you're going to be burning a lot of calories, right? In good diets, you want to have a lot of your vitamins, right? You want to have a lot of your proteins. You want to have a lot of all that good stuff, okay? And you also do it for your working out. You want to build muscle, right? You want to push as much weight as possible. You want to be as strong as you can be. You're only bettering yourself with the better diet because your diet is going to give you energy. And energy is the source of all the power. Okay? And another thing about a good diet along with growth goes with a longer life. If you eat healthy, you will have less problems growing up, like growing older. If you live healthy, you won't have high cholesterol, you won't have bad blood sugar, okay? Technically you'll live longer, you should at least, right? With a healthier diet. And then we have to, with good diets comes health, right? So the best thing for a good diet is for old people. Old people, they shouldn't eat a lot. But they should eat right. There's a lot of problems when you get older. Your food doesn't digest well. Your enzymes don't break up food the same way they used to. Your digestive system is probably not going to be the same. So you really have to focus on your diet. You only eat what you can eat. Your vegetables. You stay away from meats when you get older. As bad as that sounds, you stay away from junk food because all these have a bigger impact. It's not the same when you're a kid. You can just be chugging sodas and you're all okay. If you do this as an old person, it can really be effective. Your diet can hurt you. So this is a good thing about having a good diet, because when you have a steady diet that's good, it lasts you a lifetime. And for a lifetime, you want it to have as long as a lifetime as possible. Weight management is another thing with health. So a lot of people, let's just start with people who want to get skinny, right? Or skinnier. For people who had the depression or had their injuries and they developed weight, whatever the case may be. They got a little big and now they want to lose the weight. It's not just going to the gym. The gym isn't going to be the most beneficial factor. The most beneficial factor is going to be your diet. Because what you eat is what you become. Because you use everything you would digest, okay? You use all of it. And everything that you don't use, we all know what happens to it. So your diet really depends, your diet shows what your weight is. It's a resemblance. If you only eat vegetables, you're probably going to be a little skinny. You're going to be light. If you only eat meats, you only eat the solid foods, you're going to be solid. You're going to be a little bit heavier. Your weight management is important. There's a lot of problems when you're overweight. A lot of strain on your body. A lot of strain on your heart. Like cholesterol is a big thing, man. Having a heart attack. Those are some serious things that people have because they're overweight. Not being able to do the things you once before. That's a big issue. You know, you don't want to break your back one day, and it plays part with the diet, because your diet is what makes you strong and what keeps you alive. So you gotta make sure your weight management is on check. Okay, you can't be overweight. You can't be underweight either. There's people that need to eat a little bit more, right? People only eat the minimum as possible. You know, it's okay if you have to conserve your food, but man, if you know, just finish your plate is what I'm trying to say. Finish your plate. Make sure you're happy. You're not starving. Starving is bad, man. It's painful. No one wants to starve, right? Don't starve yourself either. Don't starve yourself. You gotta eat, but eat right. You gotta gain some weight, man. Just eat less, but eat more throughout the time, so you can eat more throughout the day. That's my recommendation. Eat healthy. Say you're already eating healthy, but you eat big meals at a time. Change it up. You know what I'm saying? Eat 8 times a day, but have them little in portions. So your body's always having the food, is always digesting the food. You can gain weight. When versus you only eat 2 big meals a day, well, there's periods of time where there's no food in your system. You're not gonna gain weight. And then the same thing with losing weight. You know, you're not supposed to starve yourself when you're trying to lose weight. That's really bad for you. So the same thing. You wanna space out your meals properly. It's really important for a good diet. And then medical conditions. You know, some people are allergic to some items, right? You gotta focus on your health. You can't be drinking sodas all the time. You can't just be. You have to drink water. You gotta hydrate yourself. You know, when you're allergic to something, I know you can't eat it, or something bad's gonna happen. Or you just had a heart attack. You can't be eating your eggs all the time as you used to. You know, my grandpa had a heart surgery, bro. He used to chug eggs, just pop the eggs and used to drink it, and it's really bad for you. You know what I'm saying? You gotta take care of your health. If you have medical conditions, just work around them. And there's always a way to eat healthy. Just, you know, I understand you have a weight problem, and it's because you have a disease. And it's okay, but man, there's still a way for you to be as healthy as you can. You can still work on your diet. You can still gain as much energy as possible. You can make the best of what any situation is. Okay, and the things about good diets, they're slower. They're slower, and I'll tell you why I choose the word slower. Because when you make a home-cooked meal, they're generally going to be better for you. Generally. And it takes time. It takes time to make a nice home-cooked meal. It takes time to gather all the ingredients for a good, healthy diet. So it's slower. You know, when you eat a bad diet, I'm going to get into a bad diet, but just an example, you go to McDonald's, it's fast. It takes time to meal prep. You know, it's a little bit slower to eat healthier. As weird as that sounds, you know. You have to go out and shop. That goes along with slower. You have to go out and find all the right ingredients. You have to do your research. You have to prepare yourself for your diet. You know, you're preparing yourself for meals is actually one of the most important things you could do in the day. Because if you don't care about what you eat, you'll just end up going, to the fast food restaurant because you didn't prepare yourself anything. It takes time, you know, and that's what makes a good diet hard, because you actually have to work for your diet. A lot of people don't want to work for their diet, you know. They just want to eat when they're hungry, and they'll eat whatever they have to eat. It's okay. As long as they're not hungry, you know what I'm saying? But this is along if we're talking about diets and if you're working on one. Okay, shopping, you know, I'm gonna get into that. So let's get into bad diets, okay? So the biggest thing about a bad diet, it's cheaper. It's cheaper for a bad diet. You know, you got your McDonald's. You can go get a cheeseburger, a Happy Meal. It's a whole meal, a drink, and it's only $3. It's cheap to eat. And that's what makes a bad diet so accessible. That's why you see so many people having a bad diet. It's because it's so cheap. It's in a sense easier to eat worse. It's you know, some people just believe quantity over quality. You know what I'm saying? Yes, sometimes it's more expensive to buy vegetables, so they don't buy them. And, you know, I get that. But it should be quality over quantity. Because if you eat too much of something bad, you know, we all know the consequences. In McDonald's, you can't eat 10 cheeseburgers because you got $10. It's terrible. It's really bad. Okay? So, you know, just because something's cheap, you know, it's not always the best thing to do. You're not going to just go cheap and have something break. your body's going to break in a sense. You're going to gain weight. You're going to be really unhealthy. That's the thing in a diet. Yeah, it's cheaper. But when it comes cheaper, it's not going to be as good. That's why people pay money for the good stuff. And then sometimes a bad diet, I mean, this is really optional, but for the most part, a bad diets are tastier. Your junk foods and your sweets, people love that. Some people get addicted to their sweets and their junk food. It's in a sense tastier, right? You have a better time enjoying the sweets, right? It's better than cooking the chicken and whatnot and doing all that. It's just easier, and it's in a sense, it's not generally a home cooked meal is going to be 10 times tastier in my opinion. But when it comes to junk food and sweets, some people just have a sugar tooth and it's tastier. They'd rather just have, their cakes and their chocolates, and they're good to go. And people play along with that. They think McDonald's is the tastiest thing in the world. Nothing beats a Big Mac, you know what I'm saying? No, versus your homemade tuna sandwich, you know what I'm saying? So people think it's tastier, but in everything in life, the things we think are the best are sometimes the worst, and what we think are the worst are sometimes the best. It's crazy how it is in life sometimes like that, but it is. The tastier things are not always the best things. And then we have to go with faster. It's so, that's why they call it fast food. And that's where bad diets come from. I live in Houston. Fast food restaurants every single corner. This is why there's so many obese people out there. Again, McDonald's is so fast to get, anything. It's so fast now. It's so freaking fast to get your food. You don't have to work for your food. You just become lazy, and it's so cheap. All right? Your Chick-fil-A, you can get anything you want fast food nowadays. And we gotta watch out for that. We gotta watch out for what's fast, because when we take time for something, it always comes out better. Our diets is an example for that. We take time on our diets and we don't rush it. It's gonna be better. It's gonna be a good diet. Bad diet consists of fast food, just getting it over with, eating a candy bar, and, drinking a soda real quick just because it's available, and then you're done. And then we have, your pre-made foods. People don't want to cook their foods. They buy pre-made foods and they use the microwave. Those type of meals have a lot of sodium. Those meals aren't the best. They do have the healthy choice meals, but they're still, it's not as good. There's a lot of preservatives in those types of foods, right? And they're not going to be as good as your regular good diets, because you're using your pre-made. Yeah, they have pre-made for diet plans, but those are specialties. I'm talking like your pre-made freezer foods, your pizzas, your hot pockets. The potato head foods, you know what I'm saying? You got to watch out for that. Just because something's faster to eat, it's better just to take your time on your diet. Don't even get me started with the microwave. The microwave is literally one of the best inventions, but it can be bad. It gets our diets, it makes our diets a little bit worse. So let me talk about what are the best foods. And we all know what the best and the worst foods are, but I'm going to say them anyway. So the best foods are vegetables. All the vegetables, all the greens. We got our fruits. All the foods are good for you. We need the fruits. We need the vitamins. We need the sugars. Everything it provides. We get more energy, because the way the energy system works is the sun goes to the plant goes to the animal, and then we eat the animal. And that's in the sense. But if we go straight to the plant, that's why we get more energy when we eat fruit. You know what I'm saying? We can't just, take the sun and be full. We can't do that. I mean, we can do that with vitamin D. But that's why fruits is always the best choice. Fruits is the best choice because it has the best source of energy straight from the sun, right? And then whatever eats the fruits, or the grass, and then per se, the cows, that's the next source of energy. That's why fruits are generally, and vegetables are going to be better. You just get a better source of energy and a better source of, all the good stuff. Vegetables, proteins, your fruits, protein shakes. Okay, I'll tell you why protein shakes is really good, because it has all those essentials you kind of miss in your diet. It kind of, I would go along with your vitamins. Sometimes you can't get all the vitamins. Sometimes you can't get the right amount of protein because you don't want to eat so much. You can't. So you drink a protein shake, so you can get that protein in. I'm talking about, a workout diet. Yeah, there's other things in protein shakes, but having like either your vitamin shake, your vitamin pills, getting in that is really good for your diet, because you're putting in what your body can't receive, because you can't eat everything at once. You can't have every selection of every type of food so you can get everything at once. You know what I'm saying? It's not likely. It's possible, but it's not likely. So we have protein shakes that kind of give us that level us out, that balances us out on our levels of everything we need, in a sense. Okay, it's really good for us. And then we think about our worst foods. So we have our fatty proteins, man. So we get too much on our meats that are really bad for us. And like pork, in my opinion, is one of those baddest proteins there are, right? We eat too much of it. We eat too many of the burgers, We go out and eat too much fast food, and so the meat isn't, high quality, as you would say. It's really fatty proteins. Or the bacon, the greasy food. Gotta stay away from those. Those get you. Those get you in the long run. I'm not saying it's not bad to have some fatty proteins. It's good to have your essential fats, okay? It's good, but man, we can go a little too much on them sometimes. I used to be a victim of the fatty proteins, you know what I'm saying? But I changed my ways. And dairy products, people like the ice cream. People love, the milk, but those things, too much dairy can make you very bloated. It can, it can ruin your diet. It's okay to have milk. It's an essential for calcium. But then there's people who use dairy products too, like too much cheese, you know what I'm saying? The ice cream is a big thing. And then they drink too much, they have too much dairy. And that itself is bad, Trans fats, fats that are in all foods, trans fats in the very unhealthy foods. You gotta watch out for those types. Those are the worst type of foods. I mean, there's so much more healthier food than there is bad food. There's so much more healthier food. So why is everyone not just eating healthy? It's because it's just easier, in a sense, tastier to have the worst foods. It's more available, and people make a better buck off it, and we take the loss on it. I mean, we guess also get the gain since it's cheaper. But what I want everyone, to work on their diet, to know what they're eating, to have more energy, to go through the day easier, to live longer. This is why I'm doing this diet plan, because I want everyone to live long. Everyone shouldn't have health problems. Everyone should be fixing that. Everyone should be building muscle. And building muscle is the best thing you can do for anybody. That means you're growing. Your body is healthy. That's a sign of growth, And it's all about growth. It's all about being a better you. You want more energy in the mind, and you can do that by eating better. You don't have all these toxins in your head. So here's a question. How to pick up a better diet? For those people who don't have good diets, well, there's a couple solutions. You make goals, right? The first thing you got to do is make a goal. And it's either you want to look this way, you want to live longer, you want to be healthier, you want to lose weight. First, you got to picture yourself, right? You got to know how your health. If you just want to live long, you just picture yourself the same, but just older, right? So you think to yourself, how do I live long? You don't indulge yourself in food. That's the first thing you don't do, right? You don't overindulge yourself. You have moderation, and that's with everything, and that's along with food. And you make sure you eat a lot, but you eat light. You don't bloat yourself. Just make sure you stay full. You eat the stuff that gives you energy. You eat the stuff that doesn't cause any health effects. So you make your goals. You have to first know what you want. For my example, I used to just want to be bigger. I used to be really skinny, right? So I wanted to put on weight. So I had a goal. I had pictured myself. And I got to that picture, really swole, really cut up. I didn't overdo it. I didn't have a Superman perspective of how I was going to look. It's unrealistic. But I made a picture that was realistic. I made a goal that was realistic. And I went for it, and I did. And now my goal is to just live long. I want to be healthy. I want to live long. So that's what I do. I make sure everything I eat is, it's not going to kill me, in a sense. I know it's not going to kill me. I eat bad sometimes. But I make sure my diet consists of healthy foods that give me energy, that give me my vitamins, my proteins, everything I need. I make sure that I'm doing that so I can live long. I'm staying away from the high sugars, high salt, high cholesterol type of foods, so I can live long. That's my goal. I want to, my spirit animal is a turtle, so I'm living like a turtle, you know what I'm saying? I want to live long. So another way to pick up a better diet is you do your research, man. Google is your friend. Don't be scared of Google. Google's going to tell you everything. Just ask questions. Be like, well, what are the best vegetables to eat for whatever reason, to lose weight, to gain weight? Research everything, every question you might have. What's the best way to lose weight? There'll be so many things they'll tell you how to lose weight, how much to gain weight, how to be healthier. Just do your research. If you don't even know what's in on the daily vegetables, just do research on vegetables. Just know what's good about spinach, what's good about carrots, what's good about potatoes. There's knowledge on those things. There's this is what makes every type of food different, and you can do your research on that, so you can know what you're putting in, and you can know for yourself what's best for yourself and what to eat. Okay, because some people just eat whatever anyone says, but everyone has a different goal. Everyone wants to look a certain way. Everyone diets for a different reason. Okay. Another way to better your diet, you can find a coach. You can go to the gym and just ask around. You could just ask elders. A lot of elders know about good diets. They've been long enough to at least know. A lot of old people. Generally people should know how to have a good diet. That's a general. We all learn at an early age, but there's always a way to step up your game. There's always a way to improve your diet that maybe a coach knows, a dieter. People who do this for a living, who make diet plans, who know what's best for whatever your body type. You can find people like that who are there to help you. You gotta ask questions. You gotta talk to people. If you want a goal, you don't have to do your goal by yourself. People generally, it's like your family. Your family's gonna want to help you. You ask your family questions. If you don't know yourself and you can't find out all the research yourself, you can find out questions from other people. If someone was to ask me, I would help them out. I generally know what people should eat. Generally, I've done a little bit of research. I'm not an expert, but I know enough. I know enough to help people, and that's what I want to do. And so I'm kind of just going over the basics of how someone can do a diet without me just telling you what to eat. You know what I'm saying? Because that's by person to person. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you could just find a good coach, instructor, go online, YouTube videos, someone who does it for a living. Okay? How do people lose a good diet? So you say you have a good diet, you're motivated. So how do people lose that? And then it happens all the time. People get big and then they get fat. People are skinny their whole lives and they get fat. We see it all the time, vice versa. One thing is expensive. It's not easy maintaining a good diet because sometimes it is a little expensive. It's sometimes expensive to keep your coach or diet or planner. It's sometimes hard to order in your meals if you're ordering meals from somewhere. It's not easy to buy all the ingredients to have the healthiest meal possible because when you have bad meals or worser meals or bad diets, you find yourself eating the same thing, right? You don't find yourself having a complex system of bad foods. It's usually you just have a small thing of foods that you eat that are generally bad for you, like hot Cheetos. People you would eat a bag of Cheetos a day or something like that. It's really bad. So they find themselves, they can't, expenses. They can't have the luxury of getting all different types of fruits and vegetables because the money adds up when you have all those into your, good diet and an abundance of it. You have to have abundance of food, You can't just do it one time and expect that to, work. You have to buy it every day, every month, and the same meals. It's constant. And expensive can play a part. Some people don't have, it's just how it is. People to get distracted, Sorry. People go on their plans, on their routines, and they get distracted. So, say it's summertime and you have this goal and you've been working hard, and all of a sudden you go to school. You're going to school and you get distracted on your diets, You forget you're supposed to eat at this time every day, and instead you're just working on homework. You get distracted. You have distractions. Sometimes you have work. And I'm gonna add that as a distraction because you're not focused on that one thing. And anything that's not focused on that one thing is a distraction. So whatever the case is, you pick up a job, you get a girlfriend for something, people lose good diets because they get distracted. They find something else to do. Whatever the case may be, or something tragic happens in their life. You know what I'm saying? So this goes along with, depression. So sometimes people get really depressed. Someone loses a family member. Someone loses their job. They get really sad. People get sad all the time. People get emotional. And this will mess up their diets because they get less motivated. So loss of motivation plays a part of a good diet, because once someone isn't motivated anymore, they don't want to stick to that good diet. They want to just do whatever they want to eat, and it doesn't matter anymore, just as long as they eat. Motivation is a big key when it comes to a big diet, because it's consistency. Consistency is the key. Okay? There's no way to have a good diet if it doesn't last forever. Your diet, when you set yourself up for a good diet, you want it to last forever. You don't want to just do it for a week. It doesn't make sense. You pick up good things so you can prosper with it. You learn how to ride a bike so you could, ride to the store so you can pick up food. You learn good things like that, in a sense. You pick up good diets so you have the knowledge, so you can live long, so you can stay healthy, and you keep it up, and you stay motivated if you have a problem with eating whatever type of foods those are, You want to keep eating those foods. You want to keep eating good stuff. People lose the willpower, People can't just stuff down those protein shakes all the time. They can't do it. They can't stick to their deals. They have to have the sugars or their candy bars. They don't have the willpower to do the good diet. You know what I'm saying? And then a lot of things comes with taste. They can't just have the normal bad foods. They need the sugars. They need their tahine in all their meals. They need all the hot sauce, all that. People are difficult, and like motivation, loss of motivation, loss of will, depression. They just get tired of the taste. They just can't do it anymore. They get distracted, expenses. These are all the reasons why people lose good diets. See, when you learn something, you don't just try to forget it. So when you learn a good diet, you don't just forget it. You always remember the good diet. So why would you ever stop the diet? It doesn't make sense to me. I want to see everyone, the best of them. Everyone should be the best them. And, when I see people overweight, sometimes there's a lot of problems with that in their lives, right? They can't do the sports they want to play, or they can't find the woman or they have loss of confidence because of their weight. There's always a way, and it comes to diet. Some people are just not motivated. It's because they don't have a right diet. They don't have the energy. People are just so tired all the time. They don't want to do anything. It's because your diet. It all starts with a good diet. That's why you say breakfast is the most important meal of the day. It's because you start your day with a good diet. Because you can't go throughout the day hungry. It's just too much of a distraction if you're hungry. You can't be successful if you're hungry. It's not going to work. We have to eat. So the first thing we have to worry about is a good diet. Some of us have the luxury. We don't have to worry, about the food coming in. We can always get the food. We have the money for the food. We don't have to worry about it, so we keep getting it. We don't have to worry. So we have a chance to improve our diets, And that's great. That's great. Like for all the people in the gym working on their diets, living long, see, they have the key. And anyone who does that, they can share their knowledge. And if you have good diet plans, man, don't let your brother get fat, man. Don't let your family members get unhealthy. Look out for each other, man. Like, don't just go into the street and be like, hey, you're fat, let me help you out. No. Some people don't care. Some people, to be fat is a luxury, because they never eat, so to each his own. To each his own. If you want to be, big in whatever way you want to be big, that's your life. But I'm talking about, health. I'm talking about your diet and how it can help you. That's the main topic, right? So when you want to gain weight, or you want to gain muscle, you gotta focus on your proteins, right? You gotta make sure you're replenishing the all the carbs, all the stuff you lose in your daily workouts, your daily routine. You're gonna burn a lot of calories. First, you gotta replenish it. So you gotta eat enough to replenish the hard work you put in. And then that's one of the hardest things, is to replenish it. And then, because you have to grow, you have to eat more. Your body has to take in an abundance of something so it can stack, right? You got to stack. You got to have your reserves, and your reserves start with inside. So you got to eat a lot, man, to gain weight. You got to put on size, and you have to have a good diet doing it. Because if you eat unhealthy food, it's not muscle that's going to be growing, man. It's going to be fat, okay? And you say, oh, fat turns to muscle. You can go so far, but to be the best, to be the most cut, to be the most biggest, strongest you can be, you have to have the best diet. Simplest fact. You can eat the junk food all you want. You can get strong. You can gain muscle, but it won't be the best possible. Okay? It won't be the best. You won't be the best. It's not possible. Okay? You have to have a good diet plan to be the best at whatever you're doing, to be the healthiest as possible. You can be healthy and still eat bad, but you won't be the healthiest as you can possible. And to lose weight. So a lot of people, that when they care about diets, they really want to lose weight. They want to cut up. The first thing you got to do is you got to start drinking water. That's it. Just water. And water is so good. Well, people don't like water. What the hell is wrong with you? We're made out of water. Water's awesome. Who can complain on some water? So that's no more beers. You know what I'm saying? No more sodas. No more sugary drinks. Something wrong with the little sugar. Your body needs it. I mean, if you can find it in other ways, it's possible. That's why they say a little cup of orange juice in the morning is good. There's a little sugar in the orange juice. You know what I'm saying? You get your vitamin C I think so. Vitamin C. So that's really good. It's good to have your like sugary drinks every now and then. You need your sugars, okay? We all need them. But you gotta eat your fruits, man. You fill up on your fruits. Dude, think about a fruit. You know what I'm saying? It's straight from the sun, and it's so juicy and it's liquidy. It's not a solid. It doesn't need to be cooked. Think about it. It doesn't need to be cooked. It's just ready to eat. Why is something just ready to eat like that? You know what I'm saying? Well, some things you might want to wash a little bit, or you might want to peel it or cut into it. But it's just there. It's ready to eat. It's an abundance of it too. It's not an animal, right? It's not you, and it's so grateful that plants don't have a conscience, as far as we know. You know what I'm saying? As far as we know, it doesn't have a conscience. It doesn't think about why it's alive and stuff. Versus an animal, some animals, they have like a stupid conscience. That's what I'm gonna call it. They know they have like babies and stuff. They know they need it. They're aware. They know they're alive. You know what I'm saying? Like a dog or a dolphin. Some of these things are alive. So we don't go kill animals. We're fruit, man. Fruit. It's what it's there for, and that's why we're supposed to eat it. We're not supposed to go around. Killing an animal is like killing a person and getting their meat. It's practically the same concept, but we're not killing each other. That's bad. Killing is wrong, and any type of killing is technically wrong. But when we eat the fruit, we're not really killing anything. It's there for us. I mean, you could come out with it's from God, it's science, but it's there. The fruit's there. It's delicious and it has everything we need. And it's healthy for us. That's what we should be going for. The vegetables, the best source of energy. That's the best way to lose weight, right? Best way to lose weight is just stick to your vegetables. Keep your protein to a minimum. But you can get proteins in a lot of different types of vegetables and fruits. You can your spinach. Your beans. Beans. It's like that's a good one for like protein and stuff. There's a lot of ways you don't have to eat meat. I'm not saying go vegetarian. That's not the answer. I'm just saying like more of an abundance of the fruit. You know what I'm saying? You'll be full. You'll feel better. You'll have more energy and you'll lose weight doing it. It's not because I can't get full off eating fruit. Have you ever tried eating a whole pineapple to yourself? I want to challenge anyone who will eat a whole pineapple to themselves in one sitting. That it ain't easy. I'll tell you why. It's like all that sugary, it's too sweet, or there's something in the pineapple. You can't just keep chugging them down. You know what I'm saying? That goes along with a lot of fruit. It's hard to eat a lot of fruit. It's not easy. It fills you up, and that's good. You know what I'm saying? Good food fills you up the same way. If anything, you actually eat less of fruits because if I was eating cheeseburgers compared to fruits, I could eat like 6 cheeseburgers, and if it came to fruits, I'd only eat like a bowl of it, and I would be straight. You know what I'm saying? We don't think about it that way. We don't think about diets, about how easy it is or how tasty it is. We just subconsciously just go to Whataburger or go to McDonald's, just get something quick. Like, I don't like going quick. I like sitting down and knowing my meal is nice and cooked. You know what I'm saying? I'll be going to get pho all the time, and I have there's a little bit of meat in there, just a tiny bit. I get a little bit of protein, and I have rice noodles and I have my vegetables, right? So I'm just eating rice noodles, vegetables, and the tiniest bit of meat. It's generally sort of healthy. You know what I'm saying? Sort of healthy. And I just take my meals like that. I just make sure I have a little bit of everything in all my meals. I make sure I don't indulge myself just to get full. I indulge myself nicely. Just so I could go throughout the day, not be tired and sleepy because I ate myself to sleep. Like in Thanksgiving. No, there's moderation, and I make sure when I eat, I don't. I just always make sure I watch what I eat. I don't be going to fast food restaurants because to me that doesn't even taste good. I don't find the sweets as sweet as they used to be as I was as a kid. And once we realize drinking water is just awesome, and we realize having food just makes us feel good, and just so when we look at good diets and bad diets, right? We love bad diets, but tell me this: you don't think you can fall in love with the good diet? I'll tell you right now, you'll fall even more in love with the good diet versus the bad diet. Not just because it's a good one, because there's so many more benefits from it. And you'll never know unless you do it. You'll never know if you go day to day eating healthy. You never know the difference. I never knew the difference until I stopped drinking soda, and I started watching what I eat, and I told my parents, look, I only want to eat this. And once I did that and I made the change, I really realized, I awoken and I realized, man, I need to stay away from this stuff. The difference of how it made me feel, and what I was capable of doing. I was capable of the same things, right? But it was just like in the back of my head, I felt more energized, I felt more awake, I felt better, I looked better, I know I'm healthier, and all these play a part. Once we realize these things, our diets can go a long way. We can all be, the way we want to be, right? We can live as long as we want. We can live as long as we possibly can with these good diets, okay? And yeah, that's about it, man. Just guys, just don't lose yourself, man. Don't get depressed. Don't eat the gallon of ice cream, because your girlfriend broke up with you. Don't chow down on a whole freaking pizza to yourself. People be eating whole pizzas, man, to themselves. I've done it before, man. It's possible. But people be doing it all the time, man. Stay away, man. There's a lot. You can spend that $9 on a pizza on 9 avocados, and man, you will get so full off the avocados, and you'll be so much healthier. Like a whole avocado for breakfast is a dang good meal with the banana. I had that the other day, man. I was so satisfied. I cut up the avocado, you know what I'm saying? I ate it. They say you're supposed to eat half avocado, not a full one. But I don't know. I was really feeling the avocado, so I ate the whole thing. It was a real big one, too. It wasn't a tiny avocado. It was a big one. I ate a banana, had my water, and, man, I felt great. I felt like I had a great breakfast. I felt, a lot of energy. I didn't feel slummy, when you eat, like, a really greasy breakfast, like sausage and bacon and your scrambled eggs. It's too much for me. I don't like it anymore. I don't like all the grease in the food and stuff, and the sausage and the, I don't know what a lot of people eat for breakfast. My breakfast used to be, the bacon, the sausage, and the eggs. That was my typical breakfast. But now I changed my breakfast to where it's either like a fully loaded protein shake with a bunch of vegetables just so I can chug it down quick. Because I don't like to just eat fruit. Like, I just like to do the chug and I'm good to go, It takes too long to eat healthy sometimes. But I make protein shakes, so I solved the issue. So I either have a protein shake or I eat some fruits in the morning, If I do eat a solid meal, I make sure it's like, I don't know, like in the morning I'll probably have like some type of beans or some type of vegetables, tuna. Something light and not too heavy, you know what I'm saying? Because, I don't like to eat. I can't really eat too much in the morning, It's hard. But that's the best time to eat. So I always try to make sure I eat in the mornings, right? Because you want to start the day energized. You don't want to start the day and do your things and like, oh, now I got to go eat. No, you do it first. You get it done with. You get the diet done with quick. For the people that want to gain muscle, man, do the most research you can and know your body type. Everyone has a different body type. Everyone grows differently. Different foods affect people differently. And you got to try out the methods. You have to know what works for you. See, for me, protein shakes was my answer. I started chugging protein shakes. Protein. I started using almond milk if it's not water, because I don't like regular milk that much. I used almond milk, and I put fruits, I put my oats, I put a little honey for the sugar and stuff, just a tad bit of honey. That's my secret ingredient. Don't you freaking use that ingredient. Don't you tell people about that. So, you know what I'm saying? Maybe a little peanut butter if I want a little extra protein, you know what I'm saying? A little flavor. But a little bit. I don't put too much, just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'll be good to go. And then that really helped me gain muscle, you know, working on your protein, sticking to the gym. Because if you don't use your muscles, you know, you lose them. You know, if you don't replenish your muscles, you lose them. You'll just break down your muscles, man. And if you're not having what's you're needed to replenish them, you're kind of just hurting yourself in a sense. You're straining. When you go to the gym, you got to picture growth, picture yourself and your diets. When you eat, you just got to picture the food going straight to your muscles. And it all starts with the mind. It starts, you know, the mind goes to the diet. You know, I always pictured myself, you know, having good abs. And I was like, damn, how am I going to gain weight and get good abs? I just focused. I focused on myself when I ate. You know, I knew when to work out. I did my abs, you know what I'm saying? And I just focused. I made sure my body knew. I don't know if this is a method that works, but this is just what I did. I focused on my abs, and I just like, I want bigger abs. I flex them a little bit, you know, after I eat. Same thing with my biceps and any muscle, you know, I'm working on, you know. I flex it a little bit. Make sure my body knows where it's not just going out the other end. You know, my body needs to use what. See, I'm a little sore right now, and like, you know, I had some food. I'm hoping like it can relieve my soreness. It can repair. You know, that's what my body needs to do, because I can't just be sore for the rest of my life. You know, and I need to grow so I can make whatever I do, if say, less challenging. So I go through the day. I should be going through the ease. You know, if I have a job that's outside and whatever, I have to pick up stuff. I don't want to go through the day like, oh, it was such a stressful day. No, I want to be like, damn, that was an easy day. And the only way to do that is to make sure your diet's the best. Make sure you're most healthy as possible. You know, we should be going through the day killing it and saying, hell yeah, this was easy, and next day is going to be even easier. We shouldn't go throughout the day saying it's so difficult. We can make our days easier. You know, with the better diet, we can do that. And a better diet goes a long, long way. Because the first thing we need the diet to go for is our brains, man. We use our brains. And we need that protein. We need to grow that brain as big as possible, you know what I'm saying? And get that energy right here, you know? So that's it. I just want to talk about diets. You know, I want everyone to have a good diet. I want everyone to live as long as possible. You know, thank you all so much for listening. Like and subscribe if you like the video. Like and subscribe if you think I'm out here trying to actually help people, because I am. You know, I'm really waiting for the questions. I'm not really getting any questions yet, you know, but feel free to ask them if you have any. You know, I'm here to help. But yeah, till next time, guys. Howdy, howdy.